Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, Anita Finley.
Well, it's called Golden Treasures. It's a collection of short stories by Ted Shiskin. And Ted was featured as our book of the month in September 2015. And it's a delightful book full of very interesting stories. And, of course, Ted actually was an architect, and he, when he retired, unfortunately, he has MS, and it's gotten to a point where it's a little difficult for him to type and produce the books. But you know what? The spirit's there, and he does it. He now has a talking computer, and they live. He and his wife Jean live in Fort Lauderdale, and it's just amazing what one can do with spirit. So welcome to our show, Ted.
Well, thank you for asking me again. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And I know that besides working on the one you just finished, you're working on another book. Are they short stories again?
Yeah, they're short stories. Now, this would be my, hopefully my fourth book. I had two ones written back in, about 2004 or something. So I'm going to read some of those. So if someone will probably recognize some of them, but more than half of it will be. And I'm also trying to write a novelette or a novella or a shorter type of book. And it's about a family during the American Revolution. And I'm still trying to make that longer and thinking about publishing that separately, maybe in the summer. It might have 60 pages or something like that.
So is that what the difference in a regular novel, a book, and a novella is? It's just shorter, but it's just one, it's a story, but it's just a shorter story.
That's right. So I've been happy to work with it and doing a lot of research. I can't imagine how authors from years ago had nothing to do but go to the library and search for material. Now you can sit at the computer. Oh, I wonder about that.
Right, and just think they didn't have electricity, so they had to, years and years ago, they had to write by candlelight.
Yeah, that's true. It's, I've really enjoyed. I hadn't been writing for quite a while. I was just disappointed in the sales. Unlike I thought, I haven't had a sale since November of last year. But I'm not well known, and I'm not. The name is it's in the websites. You go online, you can just look up Ted Shiskin. You'll find my name and something about me, and then or you can go to online and ask for Golden Treasures, Ted Shiskin, author, and that will take you right to my book. Or you can look online for thebookbatch.com, and that's where my book is, and that's published by the Book Batch.
Well, let me just say that a lot of authors, including my husband, myself, lots of friends, lots of real professionals, they don't make a lot of money selling books. That's kind of the problem. We have so many books out there now, and you only get a very small percentage. But what it does, it puts out something that's never been there before. It's yours. It's something that it's almost like, it's a memory. And I'm glad you did it. And of course, the Golden Treasures, a collection of short stories, is out there. And you just never know when someone runs into it. But you have to just keep doing what you're doing. I was thinking when you're having a particular challenge, as you do, and you have to sit at, which I thought was amazing, this Dragon Naturally Speaking system that writes what you speak. it really takes a lot more effort. But boy, you just keep going, and it makes the hours pass, doesn't it?
Oh yes, it does. That's the best time I have is getting up, and I'm starting to paint again too, which I haven't done for quite a while.
I want to talk about that. That was part of the reason I even had you on, because you have a lot of artwork and you were interested in selling, but now you're repainting. What are you doing? The same? What are you doing?
I just go back from memories of trips from the Southwest. I've done 3 little paintings. I don't have much room to paint. I'm painting on a kitchen table in watercolor, 9-inch by 12-inch. And I just done, I don't know if you heard of Monument Valley in Arizona.
I have. I've not been there, but yes, I have.
Yeah, and I've done one of that. And there's 2 buttes that are opposite each other, and they look like mittens, and they're called the mittens. And then I've got one of from an Arizona desert, which I think is back from memories. And then I have done a mountain, lake, and forest painting. But I'm a part of a Over the Hill gang, which is graduates from Anita High School. And there's a meeting reunion in August coming up. And a friend of mine is going to take some of my books there, and I think I'm going to make some prints of some of my work and have them go there. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's excellent. That's excellent, Ted.
I was also thinking, is there any way you could include in the YouTube of this conversation, if I emailed you some photographs of my paintings, whether that could be included?
Absolutely. Why don't you do that? And we will do that as as you're talking, especially about the artwork. We'll put it up on there. I'll ask our designer to do that. Yes, I can do that. And see, that might just be what you were looking for to get it out there.
Right.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
So,
one other thing. Tell your husband that people are really enjoying his book that he gave us.
You know, this is funny because we just talked about books. He's written quite a few books, but this book, The Air Force Cowboy, in fact, he said to me the other day, I can't even remember writing it. I mean, he did. It was only maybe 3-4 years ago. But it's the one book that sells. Of all his other books, this is the book that, because it has a theme, I guess. It has a theme for people who've been in the service, World War II. And usually one a month sells. Not more, but one a month we get a call, because I just keep putting it in the BoomerTimes. But I went back and tried to read it again, and I am amazed that he even wrote this.
And it's huge. I'm having such a problem with trying to write 50 or 60 pages for one book.
Right.
You just tell him that everybody has liked his book. I keep passing it around.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That's really very nice of you. Yeah, so what it really has to do with what most of it is what you know, just like you're doing with your paintings. You went to a place that I haven't been. So when you paint this, you are bringing back to people who haven't been there a view. It's not a photograph. It's your mind and how you saw it.
It's a pictorial travelogue.
Yeah, that's a good point, a pictorial travelogue. I want you to talk about Jean. How is she doing? She's such a wonderful person as your wife. She just loves you, and she's so helpful, isn't she?
Well, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, she found out that she had stage 1 breast cancer. And she had a outpatient operation, and a week or so ago, everything's been cleared. Now, actually, this past Monday or Tuesday, the surgeon said everything is clear.
Oh, Ted, congratulations. Wow, I did not know that. And Oh, my goodness. That must have just torn your heart out there.
Well, it took time for getting the results back.
Sure.
Whether it was cancer or not.
Yep.
And it took forever. And that drove her crazy. She was about ready to fall apart.
Everybody is. I always wonder, why does it have to take so long? I'm one of those people. That's not fair.
Yeah.
But thank goodness it did turn out well, and that could be another story for you in your short stories.
Well, there's a lot of stories like someone told me they wanted to about my father. I wrote a story how my father came from Russia before the First World War, and I wrote it very quickly. And actually, it's almost like a diary. There's no meat to it at all. There's no descriptions because I didn't take it, and I can make it up possibly, but I don't know if I want to take the time to do that. It's just something for my grandchildren. That's all.
Sure, that's okay. That's good. Everyone, you see, said the grandchildren, of course, many times don't know their grandparents, and this does give them a perspective, as long as there are a couple of pictures that go along with it.
In fact, I have one picture from Russia, picture of my grandmother and my grandfather in front of a haystack.
That's great.
Black and white. It's, oh my gosh, well, it was probably taken in about 1880.
Amazing. You'd forget they even had photography then.
Well, yeah, the famous photographer, I can't think of his name. He was all over West with a big 8x10 film negative camera taking pictures of West, and that's he was the one that really introduced the West to the East. And then there was another one named Jackson that also went out there.
Well, you're not talking about Ansel Adams, are you?
Yes, Ansel Adams.
Oh, he was fantastic. As a matter of fact, when we lived in Texas, he was offering a workshop. That was in 1975 or 1977, I guess. And he was offering a workshop, and I wanted so much to go out and take that photography workshop, but I just somehow, to be gone for 2 weeks, I just didn't think I could do that. But I regret it now because he's the master.
Well, I've done a lot of photographs of my trips, and I got fantastic photographs. And people told me years ago, why don't you get them online and sell them? I said, many people out there sell them. And you have to catalog all these negatives. And I don't want to go to the trouble of cataloging all of those negatives. And then you got to take care of them, mail them, and all that stuff.
Sure. It's not easy. It's true.
And that's why I haven't gotten my stuff online, because I'd have to have someone, if someone bought my stuff online, my artwork, I'd have to have someone that mail them, and my wife can't do that anymore.
I understand. Well, you might, that's true, but if we put this on YouTube and someone's interested, because they're listening, this is going to be on YouTube, but we're talking about right now. If you're listening and you're seeing this, then you're listening to Ted Shiskin and you want to buy one of those paintings, if you contact him, and we will give you, I think we ought to give we could give your email address out if you want.
Yes.
Why don't you do that?
Email address is N as in Nancy, IKSIHS@AOL.com. And also my phone number, 954-436-0471.
That's excellent, because if someone should see it and they want it, they could contact you, and you might then you'd figure out a way to get it. A lot of these FedEx places, you can get someone to deliver it, and they'll package it up and send it for you.
Yeah.
They would.
I'm going to, the reunion is going to have a commemorative book, 8.5 by 11, after it's all over. And I'm going to put an advertisement in there about my book.
Sure.
And also about my paintings. And you had emailed me a comment about my book. And but at the end, at the beginning of it, you had your name. But at the end of it, you just mentioned comment by a reader or something like that. Can I add your name to the
Oh,
bottom?
absolutely. Please do. I would be privileged to help you in any way, always.
BoomerTimes.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, no, that's great. Well, let's talk about now your, let's talk about the novella. I think what's it going to be about?
It's about American. It's about a family right at the beginning of the American Revolution. Family and three little kids, and an older sister, and their mother and father. And their father is a good father, but very stern. Every kids, as soon as they were able to walk, they had to be out on the farm, and he had no qualms about making them work. And the war gets going, and she, during the war effort, he leaves. The father leaves, and he was greedy. He wanted to build a bigger company, a farming company. So he leaves, and before he leaves, his wife looked at his that he's going to set up a marriage between he and his new partner. The mother says, "You can't do that to your daughter. I'm through with you." So when he's gone, they set up a marriage, the mother and the daughter, in another town, and he gets back, and he's furious and everything, but he lets it go. And I'm telling you the whole story. I don't want to.
No, I don't want you to tell the whole story. That's enough. Let somebody, once you get it done. But my question is, what made you have that interest in something in the American Revolution?
I've always loved it. Jimmy Carter wrote one, and I read it on a little book. Remember the little tapes, cassette tapes?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I heard his book, American Revolution, and it was terrific. And I never realized how much animosity there was between the colonists and then the English royalists that come to this country.
Yeah, I don't know much about it myself.
It was very bloody. And then also he just introduced the way of life and how they lived. It was great history.
And so these are fictional characters in your little story.
Oh, yeah, fictional. And fictional. I've got, I had George Washington there, and I've got some battles that weren't authentic battles, but they were with the American colonists, the militia fought. Remember the movie Patriot with Gibson in it?
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, in that movie, they in the last battle against the British, when they defeated them, they had the militia charge the big British army, and the British charged them because they had no training to march against the forces of that time, and so they retreated and brought in the British into a trap. But that never happened because George Washington never trusted the militia.
Huh, interesting. George Washington was quite a character, wasn't he? Smart.
Great leader.
Yeah. Well, so This is one thing that I know you're struggling, of course, with MS. Have there been any improvements in your health? Are there any new kinds of pharmaceuticals or something you're taking? Or
there's nothing out there. Everything that's out there in the pharmaceuticals. The side effects start off like this. If you take this drug for a matter of time, you will develop a brain infection and you will die. So who wants to take a drug like that?
Right.
And listen, to most of the drugs, you even have a drug now that's supposed to help you live longer while you're dying.
You're kidding.
And it has the same descriptions. If you take it, you'll die.
Amazing, isn't it?
So it's greed. Pharmaceuticals just want to make money.
Yep. That's not good. Well, I know that stem cells, I've sent you some things on stem cells. They have been working on MS, putting new stem cells into some of the areas that control, I guess, your neural system.
I have a good doctor friend, and if there was something out there that he knew of, he would tell me. And there are people who are curing cancer with not drugs, but with vitamins and supplements and diets, with no drugs. And there is a great clinic out in Nassau in the Bahamas that's curing quite a few types of cancer. Not all types, but they're outlawed. They have to be careful.
Yes, I know about that. But I've been working with a doctor who uses stem cells to help people with all sorts of diseases, Parkinson's and MS and all. And I thought I sent you some articles about him. Did I?
No, but please do.
I'm going to. Oh, yes. He's actually himself, he's 86, and he was a pediatrician for 55 years. And now his name's Dr. Feinerman. I will remember to do that. I'm going to write that down right now and make sure that I do send you some of his articles. Are you getting BoomerTimes every month?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, you could see him in there. He writes about stem cells. His name's Feinerman, Feinerman.
Wait, what's you spell it again?
F is in Frank.
Okay.
EIN, like fine, FEIN. ER.
Okay.
MAN. And if you look at BoomerTimes, you'll see him. He's usually on page 4 or 5, something like that.
Advertisement.
Yeah, stem cell treatment of Parkinson's disease, and of other things. He has he has multiple sclerosis in here. A lot of things, but it's because he has to go. Some of the things he can do here, but other things he has to also go to the Bahamas. That's what made me think of it.
Well, that one, never got in that. I could not try it.
Right. Yeah, I know. But he's very special. Anyway, it might be worth just talking to him. I'm not sure how, And he also things like this are expensive, and I know that.
I have one great thing that's happening. My grandson graduated from his second year of college through high school and been accepted into Florida, where my granddaughter, just has one more year.
And are they going to be studying medicine?
No, my grandson is going to be studying geomatics. And he...
What's geomatics?
I think it has to do with mapping from space.
Really? Well, that's interesting.
I'm going to have to read about it.
Right. Right. You will. You'll have to do that. Let's go back to your paintings, because that's what we want to be able to sell. So you have some new ones you're doing, but what about some of the ones you had done years ago, which I really loved?
Oh, well, they're
very colorful.
Very still hanging on the wall. And in fact, I just told my daughter the other day that I want to get them changed. I'm getting tired. Like I'm laying here in bed in the family room. And on the left of me is 6 paintings I've been watching for quite a few years.
Right. Change them, right?
In the living room, get those changed.
How many paintings do you actually have that you would sell?
Well, framed, I've probably got 40 framed. And then I've got a whole bunch that are unframed, which I can, sell for 2/3 or half the price because they won't be framed.
Right. Well, I think what you should do, and what are the prices that start? Let's say...
Well, a 9x12 frame is $350.
Mm-hmm. And these are all originals, right?
Originals, right. And a copy, print would be about $55.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, when we do the YouTube, if you send me some of these...
Right, and list the price.
Right, and then we'll run them through, about it, so people can get a chance to see it. And then that's pretty good for you because it's like having a web page with everything up on it.
That's right, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I would love to do that for you, Ted. I do admire you so much, and I'd have to tell you something that you'll love. If you've been reading BoomerTimes, you'll see that my husband wants to build tiny houses. There's a whole new wave for that. And so he's working with an architect and a builder. We get more calls about this, and he'd like to do it as a tiny house community where he has maybe 8 houses in a little community. And, of course, you would understand this, that the cities, though, have all these rules about zoning for this and that, and you can't do anything this small. And so he's working through it, but he's very excited about it. And I know as you'll see the upcoming issue, you'll see actually on the front cover what the community looks like. And I've just been told that we've run out of time. So you know what? We will put this on YouTube. You'll know when it goes on. I'll send you the information on Dr. Feineman, and take care of yourself, okay?
Thank you so very much.
It's a pleasure, Ted. Bye.